The bedroom door creaked open, and I froze, my heart hammering against my ribs like a trapped bird. My husband, David, stood in the doorway, his silhouette sharp against the hallway light, his eyes searching mine with a quiet intensity that made my stomach twist. "Where were you tonight, Anna?" His voice was low, steady, but there was an edge to it, like a blade hidden in silk. I forced a smile, my lips trembling. "Just out with Mom. You know how she gets." The lie tasted bitter, but it was easier than the truth, easier than admitting I'd been with Ethan, tangled in his sheets, chasing a thrill I couldn't find at home. David didn't move, his broad shoulders filling the doorway. He'd always been solid, dependable, a man who fixed leaky faucets and held me through nightmares. But lately, his steadiness felt like a cage. I'd started noticing the way his eyes lingered on me, not with love but with questions. I brushed past him, muttering about needing a shower, my skin still carrying the faint scent of Ethan's cologne. In the bathroom, I scrubbed until my skin burned, but the guilt clung like damp air. I told myself it was nothing, a fleeting escape from the monotony of our life. But deep down, I knew I was unraveling something I couldn't stitch back together. The next morning, David was quiet at breakfast, his fork scraping against the plate like a metronome. "Your mom called last night," he said, not looking up. My pulse spiked. "Oh, what did she say?" I kept my tone light, but my hands shook as I poured coffee. "She said, I'm not trying hard enough, that I'm pushing you away." His eyes met mine, sharp and wounded. "Is that what you think, Anna? Am I the problem?" The question hung between us, heavy as a storm cloud. I wanted to scream that it wasn't him, that it was me, my restlessness, my cowardice. Instead, I mumbled, "She's just being Mom. You know how dramatic she is." But Mom wasn't just being dramatic. She'd known about Ethan for weeks, catching me sneaking back from his apartment. My hair mussed and my excuses flimsy. Instead of confronting me, she'd spun a story to protect me, blaming David for my distance. "He's too rigid, Anna," she'd said, her voice dripping with conviction. "You deserve someone who lights you up." I'd let her words sink in, let them justify my betrayal, because it was easier than facing the truth. I was breaking a good man's heart. Days bled into weeks, and the lies piled up like unpaid bills. David started checking my phone when he thought I was asleep, his fingers hovering over the screen like he was afraid of what he'd find. I caught him once, his face pale in the blue glow, and my heart cracked. "Why don't you trust me?" I snapped, deflecting. He didn't answer, just set the phone down and walked away, his silence louder than any accusation. I wanted to confess, to beg for forgiveness, but the words lodged in my throat. Ethan was a drug, intoxicating, reckless, and I wasn't ready to quit. The unraveling came on a rainy Tuesday. David was late from work, and I was at Ethan's, lost in the haze of his touch, when my phone buzzed. A text from David. "We need to talk. Now." My stomach dropped. I drove home through sheets of rain, my hands slick on the wheel, rehearsing excuses. When I walked in, David was at the kitchen table, a glass of whiskey in his hand. My mother sat across from him, her face tight with defiance. "Tell her what you told me," David said, his voice raw. Mom's eyes flicked to me, pleading. "He's been distant, Anna. He admitted it. He's not meeting your needs." David's laugh was hollow, cutting. "That's rich, coming from you. Anna, your mom's been covering for you." I found the text. "Ethan, your late nights with Mom." The room spun. My knees buckled, and I gripped the counter. David, he held up a hand, his eyes glistening with unshed tears. "Don't. Just don't." He stood, his chair scraping the floor, and walked out into the rain. The door slammed, and the sound echoed in my chest. Mom reached for me, but I recoiled. "You made it worse," I whispered. She'd tried to protect me, but her lies had shattered the last of David's trust. I sank to the floor, the weight of my choices crushing me. I'd chase a spark and burn down my home. David deserved better, a truth I'd ignored until it was too late. As the rain pounded the windows, I realized the real betrayal wasn't just Ethan. It was every moment I'd chosen a lie, to myself and to the man who'd loved me. And now, I'd have to live with the silence he left behind.